It's week 15, round 2 of playoffs, and these are my fantasy football waivers for this week. Okay, starting off with quarterbacks, I would say the first 3 options would be someone you might consider realistically for a playoff start at quarterback. The rest of these guys are pretty much in specialty leagues, deep leagues, dual QB, super flex leagues, just to be realistic. But I did my best to try and rank them. So number 1, first we got Jared Goff going against the Jets. Small bonus on top of that. The following week, week 16, Goff and the Rams take on Seattle, who on paper seem to be the worst pass defense and allow the most points to quarterbacks, but that's really not the case anymore. They shored up that defense. It's much better now, especially that Jamal Adams is healthy. I know he's not playing the best coverage or anything, but it's still a huge boost for that entire defense, whether he's rushing the quarterback, playing in the box, or dropping back to coverage. Offenses do have to worry about him, and he does help that defense. So number 1 is Jared Goff. Number 2 is Derek Carr. Right before I hit record on this video, just got word that Henry Ruggs has been placed on that special reserve list. He will not play week 15. He will not play Thursday night football. So that does downgrade Derek Carr quite a bit, actually, because even though Ruggs only gets 2 targets a game, he is needed to be accounted for by the defense and does open up a lot of the underneath work to guys like Waller, Aguilar, Renfro, and does open up that run game a lot. And so we would downgrade Derek Carr. I don't really trust him. And let's just put him, actually, yeah, let's move him down 1 spot here. So we got Derek Carr at number 3, and then we move Teddy Bridgewater up, facing the Packers defense. Hasn't really been that good. And then just quickly run through the other guys. For those, a lot of people listen to these videos and don't actually watch them. That's not, it's fine. It's okay. But I just want to help those guys out by naming these guys really quick. Number 4, Jalen Hurts going up against the Cardinals. Mitch Trubisky is the starter. Baker Mayfield going against the Giants and Jets. He's been red hot. I got Nick Mullins here, but I'm not even quite sure. Niners season's pretty much over. They have a great matchup against the Cowboys, so you could score a lot of easy points against this Cowboys D, but it doesn't seem like Jimmy G's coming back this week, but I'm not 100% sure. Also, there's a chance that CJ Beathard starts, aka Beat Hard. And yeah, so any Niners quarterback should be good. Drew Lock going against the Bills. Phillip Rivers going against the Texans. I would move Phillip Rivers up to number 3, but don't know if the Colts defense and run game will totally destroy the Texans, which is a very likely scenario. So that would hurt Rivers' upside. I think the game plan for the Colts should be don't turn the ball over, win the game. And then we got Tua going against the Patriots. And then week 16, he's going against the Raiders. That's an incredible matchup. Andy Dalton going against the Niners at 11. 12, Gardner Minshew. He's the starter for the Jags. Finally, it happened. My quarterback for Superflex Dynasty. Don't know what'll happen next year, though. Maybe the Jags do draft a quarterback. I don't think they will, but definitely it's a realistic possibility they do draft a quarterback. Well, actually, maybe they don't draft one in the early rounds, but they're almost sure to take one, at least one, in this upcoming 2021 NFL draft. Dwayne Haskins expected to start with the Washington quarterback room banged up. And Chase Daniel, right now, not sure what's up with Stafford. I'm going to say he's 50-50. Don't know if he's going to play. He is hurt. So Chase Daniel would be the line's backup. And then Ryan Finley, if Brandon Allen isn't able to go. Brandon Allen, his current starting quarterback for the Bengals, is day-to-day with a minor bone bruise. So I would say that Brandon Allen will probably play. But if he doesn't, you got Ryan Finley. Running backs, I'd say these top 3 are worth looking at. Other than that, probably not. So we got Jeff Wilson going against the Cowboys, especially if Mostert is limited or injured. We saw Jerick McKinnon, basically, I think got zero offensive snaps the last 2 weeks. Definitely didn't get any offensive touches the last 2 weeks. And so Jerick McKinnon is kind of out of the equation. He's kind of beat up and tired from this season, so I don't really see a need for them to rush him back. And also, usually gets like 3 carries when he does actually play. And it seems like Jeff Wilson, he's a decent running back. He's in a good situation, good matchup. Probably end up splitting with Mostert. But if you're a desperate need for a flex or RB2, Jeff Wilson could be your guy. And then we got Lynn Bowden, sort of a cheat code for PPR leagues. You can put him as wide receiver. You can put him as running back. Don't think you can put him as quarterback on any platforms, not the ones I've seen. But nonetheless, Patriots, Dolphins are super banged up at the receiving core. Mike Gesicki is injured. Devontae Parker is injured. Preston Williams is injured. And also Jakeem Grant is injured. So maybe one of those guys is able to return this week. Probably not more than, probably like 0 or 1 will play this week. At the most 2. So out of the 4 injured receivers I named, 2 or more are surely out. And so it's looking pretty bad. Lynn Bowden just got 9 targets this last game. So like I said, PPR, very good cheat code. If you're one of the few fantasy enthusiasts, old timers that play caveman rules, non-PPR, then move Gus Edwards ahead of Lynn Bowden, because Gus Edwards is the non-PPR man. He's a very talented runner, very good fit for the Ravens, and the matchup is amazing against the Jaguars. Gus Edwards is the man when the Ravens are favored to win, when they have a lead, when they're running the ball well. So absolutely do love Gus Edwards. So yeah, I'm ranking Lynn Bowden ahead of Gus Edwards only in full PPR. Otherwise, we might put Gus Edwards ahead of him in half PPR and non-PPR. By the way, Gus Edwards, if you play Week 17, he plays the Bengals. And not a horrible matchup against the Giants Week 16. DeAndre Washington, I have him as number 4 because I'm not sure what's up with the Dolphins backfield, who's going to be healthy, who's not. Myles Gaskin, Salvin Ahmed, Matt Breida. We don't know. I expect at least one of those guys to come back. We saw DeAndre Washington did get a good amount of carries, but he's not that good. LaShawn McCoy. I got all the Bucs backfield out here just in case Ronald Jones isn't good to go. He's gonna probably get a pin surgically put in his pinky, but I think he'll be able to play. I'm not sure, still gathering information on that, but my guess is that Ronald Jones will be able to play. If not, we have a mess of this trio here: McCoy, Vaughn, and Fournette. For the Patriots, Damian Harris got hurt, and so we would boost James White and Sony Michel. Sony Michel, the runner, James White, the pass catcher. And so, these guys could really be up there at number 4, but I'm just really not sure what's going on with the Patriots, other than Rex Burkhead being injured. This team's kind of falling apart. Then we got Tony Pollard on the Cowboys, and for super duper deep leagues, Gio Bernard got benched a bit because he fumbled. And so we got Trayvon Williams and Samaje Perine, who kind of came in and did some work. Maybe the Bengals want to see what these guys can do to better evaluate what's going to happen during the offseason, because it's pretty evident, it's obvious the last few weeks, the Bengals, really, especially since Joe Burrow got injured, and even before that, but it really made it obvious once Joe Burrow got injured. They're playing for the offseason and next year. They're not playing for this year anymore at all. Their season's over. For wide receivers, I really got about 3 names that you could realistically add and start for round 2 of the playoffs. And so number 1 is Cole Beasley going against the Broncos. His matchup against the Broncos is good, but I just really can't put my finger on it. Is it, a great matchup? Like going against the Steelers, it was a tough matchup against a tough slot corner. Going against the Niners, it was a great matchup against the Niners slot corner. But the Broncos, I'm not sure. But I still have him number 1 because he's super talented and he's got one of the best quarterbacks throwing to him this year, Josh Allen. And so if they try to take away Diggs, I do see Cole Beasley getting a good amount of targets. And I liked how he played against the Steelers. I didn't expect him to put up a lot of points, and I made that quite clear because of the tough matchup. I think the corner's name is Mike Holton, a good slot corner for the Steelers. Now, against the Broncos, and so he did so good against the Steelers to me that the guy's sure to get you 9+ fantasy points in PPR. I think that's his floor. I think you got to take away Diggs, who's one of the best wide receivers this year, maybe top 3. Like, he's really that good. And Josh Allen loves to spread the ball. He's playing at an elite level. So, yeah, I got to put Cole Beasley number 1. And then number 2 and 3, I like Russell Gage. 8 targets per game the last 4 games. That's on average. That's pretty good. So if Julio Jones is hurt, expect Gage's targets to be up there again, like 8 targets. If Julio Jones does play, we can downgrade Gage. And then we got Nelson Aguilar, who's sure to get a good amount of targets against the Chargers, especially now that Ruggs is hurt. And then we got just a bunch of crappy names here. There's actually a lot of names I left out who's just as good as any of these guys who are from 4 to 11. But I just wanted to put some names that might be a little less obvious here. And, it's basically just... it's the deepest position, wide receiver. So there's going to be a ton of crappy ones or okay ones, and it's a volatile position. So you got those top 3, Cole Beasley, Gage, Nelson Aguilar. Then I'll quickly read off the rest. Rashard Higgins of the Browns, Michael Gallup of the Cowboys, Chad Hansen, who's pretty much a number 1 receiving option for the Texans. Tough matchup against the Colts, though. Kendrick Bourne with Deebo Samuel out for the remainder of the season. Kendrick Bourne's going to get a lot more targets. Willie Snead, Tyron Johnson. If Big Mike Williams is out, we saw Big Mike Williams get hurt with a back injury. Then, boom, Tyron Johnson exploded. 7 targets, 6 receptions, 55 yards, and a touchdown. Mac Hollins catching balls from Tua and Mecole Hardman. Tight ends, I need your help on this. I need your help on this. By the way, I made playoffs in 6 leagues. I'm very excited. I got a bye week in 3 of them, and I advanced in the other 3. So 6 for 6 so far in the playoffs. That's amazing. But all tough opponents now. Now there's no more gimmies. It's all going to be uphill battle. And I don't know what to do with my tight end, like in the couch league. In other leagues, I got, some good tight ends like Hawkinson, Mark Andrews, obvious starts. I know what to do. I know what to do there. But in the couch league, I don't know what to do. It's a total crapshoot. I'm thinking maybe Jordan Akins, but his snap count isn't. It's a little. I don't know. I mean, they use Darren Fells and stuff. I don't know. I mean, Jordan Akins, he drops the ball. Akins, I don't know what I'm going to do. Colts isn't the best matchup either. I'm thinking to go with Akins because of the game script. The Texans will have to throw the ball. Then I could go with Jordan Reed because of the matchup and just anyone can score on the Cowboys with ease. And then we got Irv Smith, who I think is the obvious play if Kyle Rudolph is out, but I don't know if he's going to be out or not. No idea. He didn't practice at all last week. That's all I know. My guess is that Rudolph's not going to play, but it's a pure guess. So let's say 51% chance he won't play. It's a pure guess. But then we got Cole Kmet, 7 targets this past week, 7 targets the week before that, and he's getting a lot of snaps. He can run, he can catch. I might go with him. I don't know. You tell me who to go with. Jordan Reed's not available in my league anyway, so I think I have to decide between Jonnu Smith, Dalton Schultz, Cole Kmet, Irv Smith, and Jordan Akins. We'll see, because I got Dalton Schultz. I started him last week over Jonnu Smith. I don't know who to start. it's a crapshoot. But anyway, we do have Dalton Schultz. He gets a decent amount of targets. He's the main tight end on the Cowboys. He gets a lot of snaps. And Harrison Bryant, in the case that Austin Hooper won't play again. He's on the Browns, by the way. For defenses, plenty of great streaming options here. Now, I do have a couple defenses that are not available. And you might ask why. Well, you got the Seahawks are like 90% of people started the Seahawks last week. So why do you have them? Just the off chance that you're in a shallow league and they do get dropped, I did want to add them. Now, like the Ravens D, probably not going to get dropped, so that's like 98% rostered. It's unavailable in all leagues, so I didn't put them here. But that sometimes defenses you can find, depending on what kind of league you're in. So number one defense overall this week, number one defense to stream is the Rams D. I've been pretty much preaching this for a month. So I stashed them like 3-4 weeks ago in the IG Experts League. And I'm just excited to start them. I feel like that's going to give me a huge boost this week in that league. And we got the Colts D going against the Texans. Now, don't worry about the Colts D. They'll find a way to get you points. They always do. I think they only had like one bad performance fantasy-wise. They always find a way to get points. I had in the Couch League, I started the Seahawks D, benched the Colts D, and they both got 13 points. Like, that's how good the Colts D is. They always get points. Just make sure DeForest Buckner's play. That's all I gotta say. Dolphins D going against the Patriots, and we got Seahawks D going against Washington. Now it's really a crapshoot from here, but I really like those top two options. Bills D, we're going against the Broncos. Niners D is going against the Cowboys. Browns D, this week they go against the Giants. Then week 16 they go against the Jets. So a decent start this week. Great stash for next week, especially if Denzel Ward is back. That's going to be very, very nice. And then Bucks D going against the Falcons. Vikings D going against the Bears. Bears is always a good matchup for opposing defenses in fantasy. Titans D going against the Lions. Washington D going against Seattle. Then next week, against the Panthers. Giants D going against the Browns. Could be low scoring. Cardinals D going against Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. Patriots D going against Tua and the Dolphins. They don't have any receivers. They might not have too many running backs either. Packers D going against the Panthers. Keep tabs on DJ Moore if you're thinking about going that deep on the list with the Packers. For kickers, worked out for us last week. So my kicker picks worked again. I've only missed, I'd say, 2 times at this whole year, which just really goes to show the year how it's very easy to predict kickers, and I'm terrible at predicting other positions like tight end. It's just been a total crapshoot. Just goes to this year. This is how crazy this year has been. Carson Wentz is healthy, but he sucks. James Conner is healthy, but he's absolutely horrible. Will Fuller is healthy this year. Like, what is going on? Like, it's just been insane how all these injury prone players are healthy and all these healthy players suck. And it is just, it's just been out of control. Like, it's been a crazy year. But we got Rodrigo Blankenship is just going to be an amazing kicker this week going against the Texans. Blankenship is the man. He's great. And the matchup's going to be awesome. They'll have plenty of chances to settle for field goals, kick extra points, get good field position. So Blankenship yet again is a great matchup. He was number 1 last week on my waiver ads, and he was the best kicker last week. And then we have, again, number 2, same guy, Steven Gostkowski going against the Lions. If Stafford plays, it really doesn't matter for the kicker that much. Because if Stafford plays, I see the Titans playing a little bit more motivated and going fast paced, like, hey, a little bit more urgency. If he doesn't play, the Lions probably won't do much, and the Titans will have a commanding lead and end up selling for field goals at the end of the game. So it really doesn't matter. what the Lions are doing. Steven Gostkowski still got a great matchup against the Lions. Ryan Suckup is out, huh? Everyone's out for the... But let's take this guy out. Dang, I didn't even... I read... Yeah, it just happened right before I recorded this. I think he's out, by the way. I think their punter and kicker is out, and another player. Wow. Yeah. So we got Tyler Bass. Whoever's kicking for the Rams, which I believe that's Matt Gay. Awesome matchup against the Jets. Mason Crosby, Jason Sanders, Chris Boswell, who has been quite terrible, but against the Bengals, it's one of those games where he might go off. Also, the Steelers could be like, hey, we need more practice, so let's just go for twos. I don't know. The Steelers are a weird team. Robbie Gould going against the Cowboys. Daniel Carlson, Michael Badgley, and in super deep leagues we got Jason Myers, who's actually, I think as of now, I didn't check, should have checked, it's my fault. I think as of now is the most accurate kicker in the league, just past the other Jason Sanders, possibly, I don't know. But Jason Sanders and Jason Myers, they're both extremely accurate, amazing kickers. Then we got Joey Sly and Matt Prater, but those are only in super deep leagues. Actually, Jason Myers isn't that bad of a kicker. He's just hard to predict going against Washington. I don't know how many points he's going to get. That's all it is. He's a good kicker on a good team, so it's really not that bad. But I'd say Sly and Matt Prater are more for the super deep leagues, and I really wouldn't pick those guys unless I was in a really deep league. All right, guys, make sure you subscribe to both YouTube channels, Fantasy Couch and Fantasy Couch Podcast. You can follow me on social media. Everything is at Fantasy Couch, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, probably not. I might start making TikTok videos. Everyone, good luck this week. Go get that W. Always remember to have fun because, we want to compete. We want to win. But if you're not having fun playing fantasy football, then why are you playing it? All right, guys. Peace out.